What's going on, everybody? Just wanted to take some time. It's Sunday. We have a nice big week ahead of us. But I just wanted to take some time and kind of talk about some of the principles that will help with success and help with you achieving your goal. My main focus is to help you utilize your tools, utilize coaching to get from where you are to where you want to be. If you're happy, then you probably don't need anything else. This is just to help you get to the next level in life. I talk a lot about business, and the number one pillar before you do anything else in business, before you launch that crazy idea, before you do anything, you need to, eventually I'll go over everything, but I'm just going to start with what's most important. And in business, the most important thing in life, if you're building a house, anything you're doing, the foundation. The foundation is the most important. What makes up that foundation in business? What is the number one thing you need before you really start building this business? I think this is the most important. It comes credit. I just bought a program and I've just been going through it. It's really about how to build an online business. I bought a few, actually just bought two programs. I went through one, which kind of gave me some of the tools that I'm using now, and I just bought the second one because I want to get a little bit more dialed in on my mission and my goal of building a business that helps people achieve their dreams. But back to the point. So this is you building a business. This is your business. This can literally, the good thing about this is not only business, it's also life. But the foundation, let's get to it. Just remember, we're building the foundation, okay? 80%, the most important part of that foundation is 80%. It's very simple. It's belief in yourself. That's the 80%. It's believing that what you're doing is going to get you the results that you want. That's 80% of it. The other 20% is the system. So 80% is the belief in yourself, and then 20% is the system. So I'll just spend a little bit of time on this 80%. So you have to believe that what you're doing is going to take you from where you are to where you want to go. A lot of people aren't going to see the vision how you see it. So you have to make sure that you're fully committed. For me, and doing these videos and dropping the kind of content I've been dropping, I don't think that maybe I'm planting the seed. I'm looking at some orchids. Day one, me making this video, I'm not going to be a millionaire. I'm not going to be able to move 1 million people, but I'm preparing for that process. I'm preparing I want to do this in front of large amounts of people. I want to work with some of the best. Everyone who I look up to does what I'm doing right now. I look up to like Eric Thomas. I look up to Brian Tracy. I look up to Grant Cardone. I look up to, now his name's Stefan at Project Life Mastery. I look up to these guys, and these are all people who I found to be my mentors, and they all teach and they all help people out. Even my buddy Ranbir, even my buddy Alj, they're some of the most powerful people that I personally know, and all they do is pour into people. That's it. They own a gym. They actually help me out a lot with my mindset. And once I started believing in myself, more than I don't look for other people to say, oh, that's a good job, or hey, keep going. I have the vision. I know what I want to do, and I believe in myself. You have to believe that what you're doing is going to get you to where you want to go, even if it doesn't look like it in the beginning. Just think about when you plant a seed in the ground. You plant that seed today. That's me planting it. You ain't going to see no plant today, so you have to believe that when you plant these seeds, eventually it's going to produce a tree or whatever you want, so that eventually I think that this is going to help me take care of my family. That even if anything was to ever happen to me, I could show this to my kids if anything, you know, I can show this to my cousins and my family. I can show people like, I come from a crazy time. I used to bake blaze and all that, and I can't transfer any of that. That's not a skill that I would want my kids to have. If my kids learn stuff like this, I'd be super happy. If my friends took even a little bit of this around me, I'd be super happy. So, the first part is 80%. This is the foundation. Before you do anything, you have to believe in yourself. I think I drove that one in. The second part is the system. Before you go out and do your business, as basic as it is, I tell some of my friends, like, if you just want to get started, I get this from Gary Vee, just go and look around your house and be like, yo, do I need this? Do I need this? And if you don't need it, go to the flea market, put it on Craigslist, sell it and make a profit. That's a system. You know that you're going to get your old stuff and you're going to sell it for profit, and then with the profit, maybe you save all of the profit and you build the business. You find a system that you really want to do, whether that's selling online, whether that's opening, starting to cut hair. Use that money to buy the clippers or whatever you want to do, but you have to develop a system. So for me, I have my system for, I sell clothes. So I have a system that's set. A customer reaches out to me. I find out certain information. Once I find out, I give them a price. If that price works, I execute in, 1 to 10 days. Then I deliver and we make sure all the garments are good. Repeat. That's it. That's my system for that business. For this business, I'm going to teach as many people as I can, and then I'm going to build products that further help these people so that I can help people develop more specifically their system. So I'm not going to go into too much more detail. It's very basic. But before you do anything, if you don't believe in yourself, you'll start something and you'll be like, oh, that didn't really work. I could easily be like, oh, these videos aren't working. It's been a week. It's been 2 weeks. How would I possibly know? But if I go hard and I believe in it, then what's going to give me a more chance of success? Believing in myself and believing in this system, or just being like, if I don't do it, if I do it, I want to pay for all this. I believe in myself. I paid for the stand watching this. I paid for my cell phone because I believe in myself and I believe in this system. And, I'm always this. To get your system, your best plan is there's a couple of different levels. This is a bonus. So level 1 is free stuff. That's your YouTube, that's your podcast, that's your Instagram. This is free. This will help develop that system. Then you have a lower level of paid stuff. You have books and audiobooks. I love books. I started here. I started consuming a bunch of free stuff back in the day. And then I was like, yo, this stuff is deep. I got books. Man, I killed it. I got books on books. This is make money in screen printing, marketing, eBay power sellers. I can keep pulling out books. This is Crush It. This is by Gary Vee. This is how to make money on Instagram and what's a good post versus a bad post. So then you have books. That's level 2. That's going to help you create your system. But this doesn't really go that deep at all. I'm not really I'm kind of telling you general stuff. Then you have books. They go a little bit deeper. But then level 3 is maybe like courses and training. So like I said, I bought a program just on social media. I paid $220. But he gave me a specific system. So it's going to be courses. Courses. I'll even put seminars here. Courses and seminars. Those are going to give you way more. This, obviously, just going down the list, this is, everyone can get started here. Then once you kind of find what interests you, start reading books and audiobooks and podcasts and consume as much free content as you can. Then get into courses and seminars. Then, if you really want to get specific, get a coach. If you really want to boss up, get a couple of coaches. All right? So this is the 80-20 rule of the foundation. This is building a business. This is the 80. 80-20 rule of the foundation. There's a different 80-20 rule that's way more popular, but this mindset is huge. System is second. I would pay at one point to get my system. I mean, not my system, but to build a system. I don't have any courses or anything, not yet, but that's why this is important. All of this stuff, once you believe in yourself and once you have a system, the main thing, I'll just put it right here. The key ingredient is to do work. None of this will work. Right now, I'm working. It may not be like strenuous, but I'm working. I'm putting myself out there. I had to go down to my car, grab this, put it up, set up the camera, write, get markers. It's not crazy, but I had to do work. I have to post online. I have to do work. I'm going to go to a coffee shop and do work. This is, honestly, this was life-changing for me. So stupid, but if I want to get bigger or buffer, I have to do work. If I want to have a better relationship with my girl, I have to do work. If I want to learn about all this, if I have to implement all this stuff, you do work. The third thing, all of this stuff is paid for. You know, you're going to pay for books. You're going to pay for courses and seminars. You're going to pay for a coach. These are all paid things. There's 3 mindsets when it comes to this. Okay? This is going to be the end. So this is a bonus. There's 3 mindsets of money. Number 1 is I can't afford it. That's the first mindset that everyone has. If I say, hey, pay $220 for this course, the first thing most people are going to say is I can't afford it. That's pretty much everybody's going to say that. Number 2 is a level up. Instead of saying, you know, if something's $100, $200, a book's only $20, a course is $200. Number 2 people that are middle class and really finding success, they say, how can I afford it? That's the second thing you want to ask. That's what people ask. When I do these courses and I do everything, I was here. I started here, then I got here. And I asked, how can I afford this? So if, like this morning, I went into work for a couple of hours just so I can afford doing these little things. I worked a little bit harder, or I have a little side, I bartend on the weekends so that I can afford things. Of basic necessities and being able to kind of invest in my business. I have a business and it just pays for all this stuff. But I ask, instead of saying, man, I can't afford that, like I want a house. I don't say I can't afford that. I say, how can I afford it? Here is 3. 3 is the bonus. You get this. Number 3, this is what rich people say. This is what the 1% say. I'm really in love with this term, the 1%. Only 1% of people make all of the money in music, in business, in sports. The top 1% make all the money. And they say something. This is the bonus. Number 3, instead of saying I can't afford it, they already ask themselves, how can I afford it? But not only do they ask themselves this, they ask themselves, how can I make money from this? How can it pay for itself and pay me? I'll just put, how can I make money from it? How can I make money from this? So for example, I pay $77 a month for a coach. All right? Yes, it seemed like a lot. Even me, I was already worried about like, man, I could refund it. I don't have to pay every month. Let me do 1 month. But then I was like, okay, how can I afford it? All right, if I cut back on these expenses, if I cut back on this, I can afford that $77. But then from that course, I've always had this mindset. I paid $77 and it taught me this. How can I afford this? So I was thinking, man, I could use all that information that I'm getting and I could build my own courses around it. I could write my own books. I could create my own content based on what I'm paying for. And he already gave $1 million formula. He broke down how to make $1 million. So I turned $77 into, let's go back to the beginning. He gave me a system. I believe in myself. I still struggle with this a lot. Like, it's hard to every day wake up and do something you're not fully comfortable with. But I know that whether if I don't do this, what am I just gonna sit here, watch a Netflix movie, not impact nobody? But so you have to believe in yourself. But then I paid for the system. He gave me a specific system. And so now I'm asking myself, how can I make money from this system? And so what you're seeing is now I'm gonna work on different products. Like I said, I'm literally gonna go to Starbucks right now and start working on some of these things. But this is my bonus, the 3 mindsets of money. 1, how can I afford it? That's the poor people. I can't afford it. That's poor people. 2, how can I afford it? That's your middle class. That's where I was for years. I just always thought, like, how can I afford this? Bonus, you don't have to pay a dime. I'm giving it to you for free. Instead of thinking these 2, how can I make money from this? And this is in reference to if you're paying for a book or you're paying for a course. But those are my bonuses. I can't see who's shouting out, but everybody who's been showing me love, everybody who supports my business, I thank you. If you ever need help with shirts, hats, embroidery, slide in the DM. I made this hat. It's grind time. Do work. I'm out of here. If you want any notes or anything, I'm going to start putting all this stuff on YouTube so that you can always see it and share it with your friends. But shout out any questions you have. Slide in my DM if you need help.